We just finished a class here at the dojo, and I was asking the students, how do you feel? They were sweating, they were smiling, they were exhausted, and they said, I feel really good. I said, why? Why do you feel good? And they kept saying, because I just feel really good, like I'm alive. And that's the point. That's the point of martial art training. When you've trained, when you've just finished a class, you're at your peak. You are the closest to Budo that you can possibly be. During that class, you rev up your batteries and you become one with the martial art. And then when you're done, you're singing. You're vibrating from the class that you just took. And then you take that energy, that learning experience, because you're not here for other people. You were here training for yourself. You were challenged and you were uncomfortable and you overcame those obstacles. Therefore, confidence builds up. Then you take that into the real world outside the dojo and you accomplish things. You finish goals. You say the right things. You don't lay around and waste time. You seize the day, so to speak. And the same story goes. I was at the place this morning that sells paper, and I said to the lady, I want to wring out this paper. I bought a big ream of paper, and she says, oh, I know that place, the dojo. I said, oh, you know it? She's like, yeah, my granddaughter used to go there. I said, that's great. Does she still train? No, she doesn't train anymore. And she had this sad look of disappointment on her face. Said, yeah, she stayed there for a couple months and then she kind of just quit. Now she doesn't do anything. She just sits around all day. And there was such a look of utter disappointment in this grandmother's face about her own granddaughter. There you go. What happens when you leave the training is you are divorcing yourself from that process of self-exploration, in this case martial arts. There are many ways to do this, but I'm talking about martial arts here and training in the martial arts. As soon as you leave training for a day, and I feel it myself, the hourglass is ticking, the sand is dropping, so I feel at my best right after class, usually 8:30 at night, when we've trained for several hours every day. And then I go home and I'm still on this high, I'm still singing and vibrating, and you still feel good. And then often I'll go into the studio and work from 8 to 12 or even 1 in the morning on my music, and I have this energy to go and accomplish a lot of things in my life. And this grandmother was so disappointed at her granddaughter because her granddaughter quit. And that's not a good way to go through life. Just remember, the farther away from the training that you get, the more difficulty you'll have coming back. This is not a rule that I set. This is a rule in all martial arts, and I've experienced this since I was 10 years old. In many martial arts, talking to many teachers in all kinds of dojos around the world, it's the same thing. You are at your peak, you are closest and the most attached to Budo right after training. But this skill set, this martial art, as with any martial art out there, abates, it lessens over time. The muscle memory that you get from training day after day, week after week, month after month, and year after year, and in some cases, decade after decade, will go away. Not just rust, it will break down and go away. And the arrogance of someone to think, well, I used to take karate 10, 20 years ago and I'm just as good. No, you're not. It doesn't happen. I see people from other martial arts that come in here all the time and they've had experiences in many martial arts and they're rusty as anything. They forget how to even throw a punch. Martial arts is not a skill set that stays with you. It goes away. The muscle memory disappears. The training disappears. Everything disappears after time. So don't live in the illusion that you're just as good as you used to be. You are only actually training if you're training consistently. Don't call yourself a martial artist if you did it 15 years ago and earned your purple belt. And don't call yourself anymore, an active martial artist, if you're a 7th degree and you stopped training 15 years ago. It's not the same. But in martial arts, the ego, the bravado of people is to always say, look at me, look at the rank I got, which is meaningless on the street. Look at how much I've accomplished, and no matter what you tell me, I'm going to try to outdo you. I'm going to compete with you and try to top you with what I know and the ranks that I have and the experience that I have. And we all know that that's meaningless. And when you stop training, you not only disappoint yourself, you disappoint others. The grandmother's face at her granddaughter, this look that she gave me of utter, I don't want to call it disgust, but just pure disappointment. She was very proud when her granddaughter was taking martial arts. And as an older person, sometimes when you get into a relationship, you leave martial arts because you want to spend time with your loved one, which is fine. You want to spend time with your girlfriend or boyfriend, wife or husband or whoever. But the irony is what attracted them to the person in the first place was the fact that they were training actively. You know, I've had a few students that said, I quit training because I want to spend time with my girlfriend. I'm like, that's great, but what are you doing now? Video games, and I play pool, and I go out drinking, and I hang out with my girlfriend, and we watch a lot of Netflix and stuff, and sometimes you go walking at the park. I'm like, that's great, but why are you coming to me now? And then they open up. Well, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I don't feel the same. I don't feel like I'm contributing to the relationship at all. And she's not as attracted to me as she was. And I'm thinking, light bulb, it's because she was attracted to you because you trained. It is attractive to see someone who has drive and purpose in their life, and that a person who not only accepts responsibility, but actively runs towards it and tackles it and handles it. That's maturity, and that's very attractive in a mate of any kind. Just remember, when you stop training, the relationships around you are going to change. People will become disappointed that you quit because you told them you wouldn't, and your integrity is shot. These things will happen, and I've experienced it myself when I had back injuries and I was out for 3 or 4 months. It was like 10 years to me because I've been doing this full time since I was a kid. And when you take a month off of training, it kills you. You can feel it in your body. You just feel terrible, tired, listless, purposeless, angry, easily irritated, unlovable, unlikable. And then when you're training, you just feel great, and everything goes smoothly, and the problems in your life disappear. And for some reason, money comes in more because you're so excited to work more. You work more hours, you make more money and things. You know, whatever you want to do in your life, it just seems to increase when you're training. And it's because, as I said at the beginning of this, you're the closest to martial arts, the closest to Budo. And Budo is not just about stopping war in your life. It's about creating a life. It's about purpose. It's about drive and using your body and your mind for the short time that we have it and putting it to its maximum benefit. When I'm home on the couch, I'm contributing to nothing. And I'm worth more than that, as are you. We are worth more than that. What our ancestors would do if they saw us sitting on the couch all the time and said, "Get up! You fool, get up! You have 20 years to live. What are you wasting your time for watching a movie? Get into real life. Get into the game." That's the key. That's the key. And I'm not judging anyone because I've been there myself. But I'm just telling people from experience, because I've walked this route many times, the disappointment, the depression, the sadness will come if you stop doing whatever you're passionate for in your life. The passion is knocking on your mind for a reason. It wants to get back in. The passion wants to get back into your life. But in order to do that, you have to actively get back into your passion's life. And I don't mean just talking. Talking is so wrong. It's so disgusting. Get over the talk and take action. Only when you take action will people start to respect you again, and the integrity comes back, and the confidence and the strength and the joy and the light all comes back. Talking is for nobody. It's doing that is for the winners in life. And you and I are winners, so we can do it. We can do it. On that note, I have 2 hours before I train again. And I can already feel over the 2 hours that the energy just starts to slowly slip away. But in 2 hours, I'm going to get back and actively train again. Wherever you live, find your dojo, find your teacher, reconnect, and just see how your mind and body act to when you act. We'll talk to you soon.